Welcome back to Dolor Factor Live, only on DBS, of course. Now, have you any questions you'd like to ask my guest? Maybe you've something that you'd like to share with them and share with us. Maybe you have experienced some of the things that we've been talking about. We're waiting for your call. Now, whilst we're waiting, we have so many questions here, and I want to just say to you that it's only guaranteed if you actually ring us, because the amount of questions we get, I just cannot guarantee answering them. So if it's really, really important to you, the best thing to do is give us a call, and you have the number is on the screen there for you. One of the questions we've been asked is how much of a role does hereditary and hormones play in weight gain? Roger?
I would say, for me, where hormones are concerned, cortisol is a big one, because cortisol is directly related to stress. Cortisol promotes fat storage. It also prevents muscle recovery when you're working out. So one of the things that I always do, or for the reason why I do 30-minute sessions, is because whether it's psychological stress or physical stress, the longer your body's under stress, the more cortisol is increased in the blood, and you end up, after a workout, a 1-hour workout or a 2-hour workout, with a lot more cortisol in blood than you would like.
Mm-hmm.
So managing stress is very important, not just physical stress, but the mental stress as well. You know,
Okay.
and a lot of us need help with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I want to just further on what Roger says about the mental aspect of health,
Mhm.
and mental fitness. You look good and you will feel good. But if you don't feel good, then you're not motivated to exercise. So it's a vicious circle. I know that when I exercise, I get the endorphins, I get the high.
Mm-hmm.
And I can exercise for hours if when these endorphins are running, I can go on and on. But in addition to the physical exercise and the endorphin high that it gives you, I think it's also important to incorporate things like meditation, prayer, just solitude, time for yourself as part of your fitness regime.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you do not take your mental fitness into consideration,
Mm-hmm.
your physical fitness may falter.
Okay, well that leads quite nicely to the other question. What are some of the easier ways to incorporate diet and exercise when you're trying to change the life that you have at this moment? So what are some of the easiest ways to incorporate diet and exercise?
I don't want to say it's easy. I will be honest with you, and Roger may disagree. It's not easy. It takes effort. It takes dedication to always incorporate eating right and exercising, because
Mhm.
it's so easy in our society to falter.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah,
drive everywhere.
but
we do.
what are the
can we
easier?
do?
What are the easier
ways?
ways?
You walk more.
Walk more.
You walk more.
Um,
You drink more water instead of a soft drink or a juice. If you
Mhm.
have a choice between a fried chicken and a grilled chicken sandwich, you choose the grilled chicken sandwich. If you want to go to a fast food restaurant, then you make a healthy choice there.
All right. Let me ask you,
know.
Roger. So what's easier to do then? If I wanted to lose weight, in particular, the core region, would it be easier to do some exercise, maybe 20 minutes or half an hour every other day, or would it be easier to just don't eat fatty foods and eat sensibly? And I don't really need to do much exercise once I eat sensibly.
To be honest, I think it would depend on the individual and the personality. Because for some people it's easy to be on a good diet and not work out. You can lose weight that way as well. But again, it's not simply about losing weight, it's about losing fat. Whereas other people who will work out really hard, they have the motivation to do 20, 30, 60 minutes of intense exercise,
Mm-hmm.
but eat poorly. They too will lose weight, but they'll lose a lot of muscle. For me, the best combination is good diet. And by good diet, I don't mean an expensive diet. You can simply add 2 snacks. If you eat 3 times a day, add 2 snacks in between. Mid-morning snack, mid-afternoon snack.
And keep
smaller
yourself
meals.
busy as well, because I find that if I don't keep myself busy,
Yeah.
You need-
I start
Well,
eating.
I find that that's
Well,
being
it
busy.
is. It's being active.
Right. I think one of the big challenges when it comes to eating is being busy, and forgetting sometimes that when you're passionate about what you do, it's easy to forget.
Yeah.
That you have.
And that's dangerous too,
Well,
isn't it?
that is
if
why
you don't.
I made the point that it's not easy, and I don't, and I will reiterate
Yeah.
that point. There are no easy ways for fitness and health. It's hard
Okay.
work. You get to enjoy it
Yeah.
once
Mhm.
you get into it, and you get to enjoy food,
Okay.
good food, once
All
you
right.
get
Well,
into it.
let's go to the phones. Good night. Welcome to Dolor Factor Live. Our first call for 2013. Hello. You can't hear us. Okay. Well, perhaps you can try back again. And I was actually going to say, I hope they do try back, because Dr. You've actually said you've got a really nice surprise for our first caller who gives us a nice, interesting question. So make sure that you give us a nice, interesting question, or perhaps tell us something interesting or something that you think our viewers can share and learn from. But one of the other things that, let me just ask you, let's get back to the phone and then ask another question that a viewer has asked. Right, we're back on the phone. Hello, welcome to Dolor Factor Live.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm listening to your program and it's very interesting.
Thank you.
Okay, I exercise regularly. I do walking, but my condition is that my hormones is imbalanced. That is Roger, right? So my only problem right now is my midsection. I do not eat meat. I take in a lot of vegetables and peas and just my ground provision. I do not eat the starchy foods. So I want to know from his opinion, what more do I need to do?
Okay, Roger?
I can.
Okay, all right then. So what our caller is saying that, did you hear that one?
Yeah,
Then? So you can
she
perhaps, you
exercised
can respond, yeah.
This caller actually said that she exercises, but she still has a problem with reducing her midsection despite eating properly.
Yeah, I got it.
But I think that the few points, whether she exercises at a rate that is enough to send her target heart rate to the point where she will actually be exercising hard enough to shift something. And the other mistake I think a lot of our people make, I see my patients, is I eat properly, but I said, okay, draw me a sample of what your plate looks like. And the starch or the ground provisions will be practically half of that. The vegetables, yes, they'll eat the vegetables, but the vegetables will be a quarter. And what I like to show my patients is I actually draw a plate as a circle. I divide it into half, and I said the top half I divide into two. So the two top quarters, one quarter will be like a raw vegetable salad, and the other quarter will be steamed veg. So basically half your plate will be some form of vegetables. The bottom half I divide into three, and on each of these three I said you put your carbohydrate, which is usually I'd say your ground provisions, your brown rice, your pasta in moderation. The other third will be your pulses and legumes, the beans, the peas, the lentils and red beans and so. And the other third will actually be your protein, the fish, the chicken and the meat. All of them, however, prepared in a healthy way.
Okay.
And I think if most people stuck to that simple eyeballing of the plate, it would be an important thing.
Okay, all right then. Well, I see our caller has gone, but I hope that she calls back and gives our her producer her name and number, and anyone else perhaps who calls, maybe we have something there for them and you let them know later what it is that they've won. But one thing, viewers, do not cheat, okay? When you place the food on your plate, as the doctor described, don't pile it high up, okay? She didn't say anything about piling it up. You will not feel better doing it that way. Okay, now let's see. We have other questions here. Okay, someone says they just want to know what would be the best natural way to clean your blood and what should they use. But we have another call, so bear that in mind. Hello, welcome to Dolor Factor Live.
Hi, welcome. Welcome back, Ms.
Thank
Dolor,
you.
with your show. I need to ask the doctor, even the other gentleman sitting on the program, do you believe, well, I wonder if I should say the word believe into eat right for your blood group? Because my reason for saying that, there are a number of things that I thought I was just allergic to, that when I would eat, I get an allergic reaction. But when I went deeper into a nutrition level, I bought this book that says Eat Right for Your Blood Group. And a lot of the things I saw that I was allergic to, I saw it classified as being poisonous to me in my blood group. So I would like to hear from the doctor's point of view if she have any idea on that book or on the basic of your blood group, because I think there are 3 or 4 blood groups and they varies at some point in time, but most of them, there are things they will tell you avoid, and the word avoid to them, they classify it as poisonous for your there's few things, like I said, I have reasons for saying I believe into it, because when I thought I was just having an allergic reaction, when I bought this book, it was something that would be an avoid for me. So I will listen over the television and hear your views on that.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's a very interesting question, and unfortunately, it's something that I cannot answer credibly. I have heard about Eat Right for Your Blood type. I have had patients who told me that it worked for them. I like to treat each person as an individual, and I think no two people are alike. So yes, you may have the same blood group, but your body makeup, your genetics, your environment different. So I'm a bit skeptical. It may work, but I prefer to treat each patient on an individual basis, and if you want to follow that diet, that's fine. I have no problems with it.
Okay, thank you. Let's go back to the phones. Thank you for waiting. This is Dolor Factor Live. Welcome.
Good night, Delia.
Good night.
Happy New Year to everyone on the set tonight.
Thank you.
What a beautiful set.
Thank you. They will be happy to hear that.
You did a good job last year, and I'm looking forward to better this year.
Oh, thank you so much. Now you see, you've given me a harder job to do now.
That's your good, Leah, so that's all right.
Oh, thank you.
Now, I have a few questions, right? I'm one that like to promote health because, you know, my mother died with diabetes, and I saw the suffering, you know, and I really don't want that to happen to me. So I have to really do a lot. And every time I see people using too much sugar, it gets me on, you know, on edge. And every time I see they're using too much, too much of anything, you know. And I always talk about walking, exercising, and not drinking while eating, because I heard the doctor say something like, you know, it's like she don't have really, you know, proof that it affects anything. But I've always, well, some people say it and some people say it's okay and some people say it's not. But I don't believe eating and drinking is healthy. And you spoke about if 2 persons are eating the same thing, Zelia, and one gets big, it gets one big and the other one stays small. What causes that? Can that be hereditary? I want to know whether you can, you know, your parents, whether it's in the family that you big and, you know, that kind of thing. And the other one is, what does eating at night do to your health? I've always heard people say, you know, don't eat too late in the night and watch what you eat in the night. What does it really do? And, lots of questions. I want to know, can the body retain water? Because I encourage, especially a friend of mine, to drink a lot of water, but she tells me it does not really send her to the toilet, so all that water just bloats her up. So why does the body retain water for some people?
Okay.
And when is the best time to eat fruits? Like just before meal or just after meal?
Okay.
All right.
Right. Well, I'll guess writing the questions down, and I'll tell you what, viewer, perhaps you might want to come and take my place next week. All those questions you've just asked.
When it comes to health, because I try, I cook my own meals, I take my own meals to work. I don't buy
very
fast
good
food,
questions.
You know, so yeah, I follow Roger sometimes on his fitness stuff.
Wonderful. Good. So you are a devoted DBS person. Great stuff.
And Dolor Factor.
All right then. Thank you so much.
Good night.
All right then. All the best.
Bye-bye.
So we have some questions here. We have water retention. We have hereditary, but unfortunately we have a break to go into. But I hope we've jotted some notes down. So we're going to go into our break, and then when we come back we'll quickly answer those calls because time is running out. So if you haven't called, this is the time for you to actually try and make a start to do that. All right, so this is Dolor Factor Live on DBS. We'll be right back.